Hey everybody, I'm Matthew Missing T, and this is the Weekly XP, your source for the week's top gaming headlines. And this week, we're hands-free. On today's episode, we dissect the most recent PlayStation 5 digital event, and we discuss Nintendo's Mini Direct. Let's start leveling up. After getting details last week on the next-gen Xbox consoles, it was Sony's turn to respond with information on the PlayStation 5. And I'll tell you, we are happy with the news.
We happy? Yeah, we happy.
This Wednesday, Sony finally revealed the price of their next lineup of PlayStations. The digital-only version of the console is priced at $399, while the disc drive version is priced at $499. Those interested in picking up one of the consoles can do so starting November 12th, 3 days after the Xbox launch. Pre-orders were said to be available the following day at select retailers, but that ended up being a lot messier than expected. The pre-orders were actually available that same night, which gave consumers very little forewarning as the console sold out immediately. Speaking of pre-orders, shout out to Carlos and Mikey for the Amazon links. I was able to secure my physical version of the PS5 with an extra controller. Thanks again, guys. But console news wasn't the only thing Sony had planned for this event. We also got to see some brand new announcements and another look at some already anticipated titles. The show started off with a first look at Final Fantasy XVI. The sequel seems to be set in a medieval world with the same real-time combat of Final Fantasy XV and seems to have a much darker story. The second game reveal came via cinematic trailer for Hogwarts Legacy. We don't have many details on the title aside from its release in 2021, but it seems to be an RPG in the world of Hogwarts, where you'll be able to interact with fantastic beasts and wizards alike. I'm not a diehard Harry Potter fan, but this game looked epic. And it makes me excited to create my own wizard, rep my house, and sling spells at creature. The next announcement was for Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, a next-gen port for the game that includes Virgil as a playable character, and Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, where you'll be trying to avoid killer animatronics in a neon arcade. Fun fact, I'm terrified of animatronics. The final announcement was, in my opinion, the most epic. Santa Monica Studio teased the sequel to God of War. We know almost nothing about the game aside from its release in 2021, but you should be hyped since this last game was well renowned for its combat story and is arguably one of the best evolutions of a franchise ever. Kratos, tell them to get ready for the hype.
You must prepare yourself.
That's all for the game announcements, but we did also get some looks at gameplay for Spider-Man Miles Morales, Resident Evil 8, Call of Duty Cold War, Oddworld Soulstorm, Deathloop, and Demon's Souls. The final thing that was to note during Sony's digital event was the addition of the PlayStation Plus collection to the PlayStation 5's launch. Pretty much, you'll be able to play some of the best PS4 games on your PlayStation 5 on November 12th as long as you have a PlayStation Plus account. Although it's not as extensive as the Xbox Game Pass, it is really nice to have a library of games available on launch date right when you have the console. I hope to see more of this subscription trend on the Sony side of things, since it may be the future of how we play games. What about you? What do you think of the PlayStation 5 and its launch lineup? If you're interested in the console, which one are you gonna get? Let me know in the comments below. Nintendo hosted a mini direct this Thursday that highlighted some titles from third-party developers. Ori and the Will of the Wisps was announced to be coming to the Switch that same day, along with the collector's edition valued at $149, which includes both physical editions of the Ori games, a decorative glow-in-the-dark box, enamel pin, soundtracks, stained glass art piece, art card set, zine, and a field book. Expensive, but gorgeous. We were also introduced to the newest installment in the Monster Hunter franchise, Monster Hunter Rise. This Switch exclusive will include new monsters, dog companions, and a new grappling mechanic called the Wire Bug. You can start slaying those new monsters on the Switch March 26, 2021. Alongside the mainline Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin was announced for summer of 2021. For those who enjoy the franchise but are looking for a more story-centered installment, Stories may be the game for you. The rest of the Direct showed us gameplay for Fitness Boxing 2, Disgaea 6, Empire of Sin, Sniper Elite 4, PGA Tour 2K21, and Balan Wonderland. That same day, Hades and The Long Dark were revealed to be releasing on the Nintendo Store as well. Personally, I think Nintendo Directs have had their memorable moments, but they've been a little bit lackluster as of recently. What about you? What have you thought about the Nintendo Directs? And what are you excited to play on a Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comments. That's all for this Weekly XP. If you enjoyed the news, make sure you follow me on social media to stay up to date with what's going on in the industry. And if you like a live stream from time to time, feel free to check out the expansion pack on Twitch. By the way, I haven't forgotten about the top 5 quarantine games video. I've made a lot of progress since last week, so I'm hoping to get that video to you guys soon. I almost forgot one last bit of local news. If you're a fan of the Heat, you better be keeping a close eye to these playoffs because we are dominating. Let's see them at the finals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Weekly XP.